but I will give you guys the nice demo of how I go about wrapping a paddle here. So let's give that a whirl. Now for the Luxx, the normal recommendation is that you would use a 30mm wide edge guard tape. I use the 20mm edge guard. Now this is a Vanguard Power Air Invicta shape. I love this paddle so much. This is my primary singles paddle. This is the 20mm wide edge tape. It wraps a tiny bit over the face of this paddle. And when you use a 30mm tape on the Luxx, which is a 20mm thick paddle, if you use the 30mm tape, it'll wrap around the edge a little bit. It's not my favorite look, nor is it like the most helpful. Of course, it's probably helpful for all the right reasons of protecting that little edge on your paddle. But most people who'd be skilled playing pickleball or using a racket at this level, a paddle at this level, are not going to be hitting that spot on their paddle anyway, so it's not needed. So to start the process, you want to actually take down the handle as much as you possibly can so that you can start the edge tape down that low. So very carefully removing the black Selkirk edge of the handle grip here. And I'm just going really slow to make sure that I'm not tearing anything that's all attached here. And if it does come off, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. So I'm just going to set this aside in a spot that's not going to lose its stickiness. And so then there's usually another piece of tape in here as well. And so just very carefully peeling this off. And I peel slow on purpose so as to not stretch this tape out. Go all the way down to where the bottom of the handle bevels out. Just like that. I'm going to leave this just like this. That's when I start doing my tape. Now I try to line up the words Selkirk so that they're reading in the same way. So you have the words going down. This is going to be the way that I put the tape. I'm going to start at the bottom here and work my way up. And I'll show you that. I do the sides first, and I'll explain why in a second. Doing my best to center this tape on the handle. Okay. A little trickier than I thought doing it on video, but it's not bad. All right, and then I'm gonna pull that protective plastic piece off of that while this is dangling so that I can just very intentionally and just line this up with the middle of okay. All right, so that's one side done. Just kind of push that in. And simple as that. All right, so now both sides are on. I do this intentionally so that when you put the top piece on, the top is going to be the piece that you would need to replace first, if ever need be. And so when you have the sides on, the top is going to layer on top of that. And so if you ever did need to replace just the top piece of this, it's pretty easy to do. And this would be the trickier part though, is just making the middle of the paddle line up with the middle of the word Selkirk. So line that up, slide this. Now I'm just, it is not sticking tight at all. I'm just making sure that it's all centered. Just continuing that video, I just finished placing the middle of this word Selkirk, and then that way it wraps around the edges of this to each side of where that Selkirk continues. So it should fit perfect if everything's perfectly centered, which is really nice. Again, that'll all work out really well if these two start at the same spot down here, which is really nice. And then once you have those placed, it should look really nice. It doesn't wrap the edges. It just is a nice clean look. It looks tight on the edge, and it should be about exactly flush. It's 20mm wide tape. The paddle itself is 20mm wide. So it's a nice feel. Looks really nice. Get a lot of compliments on that, but it also protects the edge of your paddle if you ever do take a scub off the ground. So let's go ahead and wrap this back up. And it doesn't really feel like an over grip when you're putting this on because of how really thin that edge guard tape is. So it won't feel like you're adding much to the grip at all. If you noticed it at all, I'd be pretty surprised. If I were to ever add an over grip, this is the time that I would do that on this paddle. Most of my paddles I do. This one being a demo, I'm gonna hold off on that. There you have it. Nice full wrap on the edge of the Selkirk Luxx Vanguard Control Air. This is one of the best paddles on the market. And if you want to control the court, this is the paddle for you. If you want to look really sharp when you go out there, rock the Men's Pro Line short sleeve black t-shirt. You won't go wrong. I do love the back of it as well. And you show up to a court like this, people get scared. They get nervous. So there you go. You're gonna start winning just like that. See you soon.